The city of Louisville has reached a, quote, substantial settlement with Taylor's family. The 26-year-old EMT was shot multiple times in her home March 13th while police were executing a no-knock search warrant. The agreement comes 6 months into a nationwide reckoning with racial injustice and amid sustained protests against police brutality that continue to this day. I want to bring in CBS News correspondent Jericka Duncan. Jericka, what do we know about this agreement? Do we have any details about what's in it?
Well, we just received information from Ben Crump, which is representing the Taylor family, and he said that there will be a news conference later this afternoon at about 2 o'clock. We'll hear more about what the settlement is and obviously what the reaction is to that settlement. Just setting the scene, though, where we are right now in downtown Louisville. You can see this memorial behind me. Not a lot of people out here, but we were out here yesterday, and there are people who said they've been out here over 100 days, just about every day out here, keeping Breonna Taylor's memory alive. As you mentioned, it's well known now that she was shot and killed in her own home March 13th. Police went inside. And all of this is coming as in the backdrop, people still here waiting to see what happens potentially with the criminal case involving those 3 police officers that were involved in the shooting. 2 are on administrative leave, and 1, as you may recall, was fired back in June. So a lot of people sort of on edge here to see what's next, but this is a big deal in reference to the family, in reference to a city right now that is hurting. I've been talking to people here on the ground. Sheriff's deputies all agree that the city is in need of healing, but still waiting after months of this investigation to find out what is the end result. Will these officers be charged with anything? And now we're hearing that there was a settlement reached with the Louisville city and the family of Breonna Taylor.
So, Jericka, as you know, it's been 6 months since Breonna Taylor's untimely death. Have you spoken to anyone as to why it's taken so long for both the city of Louisville and the state of Kentucky to act in this case?
Just about every day, several times a week for sure, Vlad. I've been reaching out to the Attorney General's office to see if there is any new information, if we can expect a decision, what the very latest is, as we as a national news organization are doing our best to prepare for any news that comes out of his office. And the most recent statement I got was referring me back to a September 9th tweet that Daniel Cameron, the Attorney General here in Kentucky, sent out, basically saying that they don't have a timeline. Now, there have been several reports that there is a decision that could be coming as early as this week about what happens to those officers, if those officers involved will be charged. But everyone is being very tight-lipped. Again, just being here now in the community, which we haven't really been able to do, obviously, because of the pandemic. When you talk to people, officials, everyone seems really tight-lipped right now about sharing any details about what's next. So this information that we're receiving today, this morning, really, from Ben Crump, again, the attorney for Breonna Taylor's family, is big news because we'll now be in a position to offer or ask, more questions about what they know in terms of what's next after this. And it's such a complicated, layered story. Again, we have now news of the settlement, but we still have this sort of possibility of criminal charges. We've got Kenneth Walker, who was the man there that night, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, who fired that one shot. He's filed a civil suit. All of these factors playing into sort of the atmosphere, the energy, and what people are feeling and dealing with here in the city of Louisville.
Yeah, Jericka, when you mentioned that it is a very complicated, layered story, boy, you really nailed it. There's been some incredible investigative reporting from local news outlets down there. And every time there's another report, there are more and more disturbing details about this story. So that news is very interesting and encouraging, Jericka. Thank you very much.